If we're honest, we tend to expect the very best from professional bowlers. If they've won multiple titles, not only have they had to perform very consistently through a sometimes grueling tournament, they've also had to come up big in clutch moments. But even the best in the world make mistakes. We all know this, and yet it still seems to be a shock when it happens. We're so used to seeing the top pros perform to a very high level when they get on TV, that when they make a bad miss, particularly in crucial situations, it's still very surprising. So the question is, what are the worst misses ever in PBA history? Well, that's what I've been aiming to find out, and I've got a new part of this series today, and we're going to look at some more bad misses from PBA pros. So let's start off this listing with number 1, Bill O'Neill.
That's really going to hurt. He hates this one, and it's the same shot.
Right side of the head pin, ricochet to the 610. Unbelievable.
How is that possible?
It took Bill O'Neill a long while to win on tour. For quite a few years, he was known as one of the best players to have never won a PBA title, but since he's broken through, he's been a very consistent performer on the tour over the years, and even though he's now in his 40s, has still proved very capable of winning on tour. His last singles win came at the Players' Championship at the start of 2024, and also 2024 was a good season for him. He also made the telecast for that year's US Open, and in the opening match played EJ Tackett. O'Neill got off to a really hot start, getting the front 6, which gave him a lead of 44 pins, but in the 7th frame missed right and left a washout. He missed it, getting only 1 pin, and the loss of count here did hurt him. His lead had shrunk to just 12 after 8 frames. As he went into the 9th frame, he was working on a strike, but again, on the same lane, on the left lane, went right and left the same washout. And to make things even worse, he went and did the exact same thing, taking out just the head pin. This was a huge mistake, and both of these misses proved to be very costly, but Tackett didn't exactly take advantage of this himself. He needed a double in the 10th to shut out O'Neill, got the first one, but then left a horrible split here, which was a 4 count. Luckily, he didn't lose count, but it meant that O'Neill had a chance to somehow win this match after those 2 mistakes. He needed a double, got the first strike, but then left a 10 pin. This meant that Tackett would advance. It was very surprising for O'Neill to make those 2 mistakes on the same lane and taking out that head pin in the same way both times, and those misses proved very costly. Number 2. Jason Belmonte.
Way right of target. Are you kidding me?
I should have stopped. Why didn't I?
I can't keep up.
Why didn't I?
Patrick Dabrowski advances.
Jason Belmonte had a very uncharacteristic miss at the 2024 USBC Masters. Belmonte was the 3 seed, and in his opening match did defeat Sam Cooley, and then in the semi-final match would play Patrick Dombrowski. It wasn't exactly smooth sailing for Belmonte. There was a lot of 9s, didn't really get into much of a flow, but Dombrowski himself wasn't exactly firing. A 5 count in the 6th from Dombrowski, which he did almost spare to be fair, gave Belmonte a 6-pin lead. But again, Belmonte couldn't really get anything going to extend that lead, and the match was very close throughout. It looked like Dombrowski though had thrown this away. He was working on a double up by 6 heading into the 9th, but left the 2-10, which he missed, and then left a bit of an unfortunate 7-pin in the 10th, which then meant that Belmonte just needed a mark to advance. Now, we've seen Belmonte in these situations time and time again. And to be honest, during his prime, you just wouldn't bet against him. You would pretty much put your house on him getting a mark in this kind of situation. It's part of the reason that he's won 15 majors, because in these situations, he was just flawless. But in this case, things went wrong. The ball never recovered in the 10th, and he ended up leaving the 8-10. He did say that he felt he should have stopped, so perhaps something didn't feel quite right. Perhaps there was a distraction. There was something going on there. If memory serves, actually, I seem to remember somebody had dropped something in the crowd. There was some noise or something, and he felt he should have stopped, but he didn't, and he left the split and an open frame, which meant Patryk Dąbrowski would make it through to the title match. Like I said, a really unexpected miss from Belmonte here. And although Dąbrowski would play in the title match, he would lose to Deron Booker. Number 3, Shota Kawazoe.
Come on, come on.
There you go. Not yet.
Oh.
And he's moving on.
Shota Kawazoe has long been on the PBA Tour and has long been one of, if not the best bowler to have come out of Japan. And although he's come close a number of times, he's never actually won a PBA title. He came very close very recently, actually in 2024 at the Shark Championship when he was the 1 seed, but he would lose this match in a pretty close one to EJ Tackett, so his hunt for his first PBA title continues. But this miss came at the 2018 60th Anniversary Classic. He won the opening match of the telecast against Matt Sanders, and then match number 2 faced Kevin Williams. This was a very close one throughout. Both players played well. Kevin Williams ended up finishing with a 229, which meant that Shota just needed a mark in the 10th, put down a pretty decent shot that left a 10-pin, which should be a routine spare for a pro. But he actually missed it, putting it inside, and it meant that Williams would advance. I'm sure you can see why this made the list, and it was heartbreaking for Shota, who, like I said, still is looking for his first PBA title. Even though he's yet to win on the PBA, on the Japanese professional tour, he has won, well, as of 2019, 18 titles. Now, I did try and find out and see how many Japanese titles he currently has as of 2026, but I couldn't seem to find it online. So if anyone knows, perhaps they could let me know. Number 4, Tommy Jones.
What about it, Messenger?
But a nice start to this title match for TJ.
Oh my gosh.
Except for that. The piece of tape, and he probably grabbed this at the bottom, and then as soon as you do that, it's going to be left. That's what I thought.
Oh, buddy. We missed the head pin.
Unbelievable.
This miss came from the 2017 Tournament of Champions. Tommy Jones was the 2 seed and got by Dom Barrett in the semi-final match. Jones was using urethane throughout and continued to do so in the final against EJ Tackett. It was a decent start from both players, with Jones having the front 4 before leaving a 10-pin on the left lane. But this is where the first bad miss came, as he actually missed the 10-pin. This cut his lead down to just 7, with Tackett working on a double. He could not capitalise though, as he left the baby split on the next shot. Jones managed to maintain a lead of 9 pins all the way to the 9th frame. Tackett again couldn't take the lead, as he made a bit of a bad shot, leaving the 3-6-10, which he did spare, so really was in need of a double in the 10th. Got the first strike, but then left a 10-pin from a light shot, and you could see how disappointed he was with himself here. This meant that Jones just needed a mark in the 10th to win the title, and this shot just never recovered, and he left the washout, the 1-2-4-10. He missed it to hand EJ the win. So while this 10th frame shot was a bad miss, you have to say that the missed 10 pin really cost him the match, because if he spared that, it would have been a completely different story. The washout wouldn't have even mattered. This was really surprising from Jones, who is normally so dominant on TV and so good in these kind of situations, but it's just more proof that these bad misses can happen to anyone. Number 5, Mark Fay.
Three-point. Look at his hand spread. He knows it's a victory shot. Watch the 5-pin. Rockets over behind the 7.
He knew it the minute he...
9 pins are a strike. It's not over, Chris.
No, look at that.
We find Mark Fay, who performed really, really well on this telecast. And just look at this shot and leave during his match against Ernie Schlegel. I don't think I've ever seen this left before. He's left the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever seen this. I personally have not. But he got by this match, got by 2 seed Pete Weber, shooting a 255 to Weber's 213, and then set up a final against Ron Palumbi Jr. It looked as though Fay had sealed this one, as he made the 7 pin and just needed 7 pins to win, or 6 to ensure a tie. But he missed right and only got 5, which meant that his opponent could get all 3 strikes in the 10th to win. And that's exactly what he did. Palumbi got all 3 strikes in the 10th to steal this one away from Mark Fay. This is one of the worst misses I think we've seen, just needing 7 pins. You know, it's comparable, I suppose, to the Dell Ballard situation when Dell just needed 7 to win. Obviously, Dell put it in the gutter. But considering how well Mark Fay had bowled during this telecast, I think everybody expected him to seal the victory. And that is going to bring us to an end of today's video. Thank you all very much for watching. I very much hope that you've enjoyed this one. And if you have and you want to see future videos, then please make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Well, that is going to do it from me for today. And as always, thank you, bowling fans, and see you all next time.